tell the people more about the advantages of our products.
They never lose their cool.
Expand your mind. But I've got a better source of information.
All right, we back right now. Beat Down Brown, my man Ed Dabalina in the house. Dirty 30 for y'all. Shout
Yes,
out to the
sir.
Schwable Room Mechanics in the house. How you feeling, brother?
I'm here, man, but I'm feeling some type of way. I'm here, but I'm feeling some type of way because
What you got, man?
one of our beloved R&B singers, Miss Jane Eugene. I don't know if y'all know her name. Y'all heard her music. That's the lead singer from Loose Ends.
Yeah.
You hear about her?
Yeah, the Black Brit that was detained by ICE. So I
Bruh.
thought y'all were trying to get the criminals out. Homegirl just sang, and
That's it.
she's a
That's it.
treasure. All
That's
she want to do is sing and chill.
sing. That's it. She preferred the States over, the UK, and now she's in ICE custody, man. Come on now. You locking up R&B singers? I'm sorry, singers. Because she sang.
Yeah,
And one of my favorite
she not your
all-time groups.
plaything.
I see what you did there. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, I saw that and was like, are you fucking kidding me? We normally stick to the hip hop hell, but we do music. And
Come on, dog.
This is music,
That's a
man.
prolific sample right there, man.
Thank you. You've been on TikTok. You heard Loose Ends. You know what I'm saying? You've been on there.
Look up Loose
strings.
Ends hanging on the string, and then
Yeah.
realize how many tracks went and flipped that, and y'all have to like, ooh,
Ooh, that's her?
her?
Right. Yeah. She's in ICE custody in New York City. And saying that, she overstayed her visa, she's been in the States illegally, as they say, for over 19 years. Like, bro, what is she doing wrong? Most people, a lot of folks spend their whole life in the States on a visa and no issues. But now all of a sudden,
well,
yeah.
you
Go ahead,
realize she ain't got that complexion for the connection. That's
I
what
know.
it is.
I
Let's be honest about it.
I know.
No, notice I didn't say just a Brit. I said a Black Brit.
Right. Yes, you did. You had to be specific on that because it's important. You can't just say Brit.
Come on, man.
She's a Brit singer, over in the States, and now she's in ICE custody. It's like
they was trying to deport 21, and he was born here. He was darn near born here.
Yeah, but they're gonna try to stack him up, because his history, the charges and all that shit. They're like, oh, so you here, but you don't appreciate being here because you're doing all this fuckery. Okay, but that again, like I said, they're trying to rewrite history. I understand what you're saying, fam.
Yeah,
but
he's like, dog. He's like, can you hear me talk? I'm from Atlanta, dog.
Right.
He's like, I don't care if my family's from Derbyshire. I'm
Right.
from Atlanta.
But it doesn't, like I said, man. It down is up and up is down because shit is getting real spooky. Again, we talked earlier about the bill, or last week, whatever, about the bill, and now I guess today it passed. It went back to the House, but whatever. Back to my point. These cats, they deporting anybody. Man, you could step out there and everybody, man, where's your papers? I was like, shit, at the crib, born and raised in Ohio, but yeah, we'll sort that out later. Get your ass on this ICE bus, and ship your ass out to, wherever the fuck they want. They sending Asian folks to fucking Sudan. Like whatever flight's leaving, get their asses on it and get them out of here, So I don't know if she's in that situation or how this going to shake out for her, but hopefully, man, they get their heads out their ass and let this lady let her be.
Yeah,
really. That's my two on that, man. We could get into it. I just wanted to, before I forget. I'm sorry about
you good.
mentioning her name, man. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, man. We need to be addressing this stuff directly with our politicians, man, to stop this crap, man. It's garbage. It's absolute, complete, and total garbage. And leave folks alone, man, because it's really funny and it looks funny in the light. It's a couple of groups of folks, but it ain't other folks. And there's a ton of illegals, a ton of people that are overstaying their visas. They just don't happen to speak Spanish, speak Mandarin, speak Cantonese, speak Japanese, Taiwanese, Korean, or happen to look like me and my established co-host.
Yeah, but the thing is with that whole thing, man, and I'll land a plane on it. It's going to be a rude awakening when they realize how much of an impact that these folks have on our day to day.
Oh yeah.
When things start coming up short, when stores can't fill orders, or just going to a store and nobody's there to help. Like I said, man, this is just the beginning, and it's only going to get worse, and then you're going to realize that that's why we needed them. Mm,
Hmm.
okay, and like I said, that's my 2 cents on that, man. I don't want to drift too far off, but yeah, man, let's get into this childish.
Well, we're
Uh,
gonna get in childish. I did want
okay,
to cover one other thing because we were talking about in the last show about albums that we covered that did or did not disappoint, whatever. Did you ever get a chance to check out that exhibit now that it finally came out?
the exhibit with
No,
I
I'm
can't
talking about the whole
the whole
album.
album. No, I did not. I just heard higher. Is that Redman's song
Yeah,
or that's Rick? Damn it. Okay, no, I didn't.
Red Man, and Be
Redman and
Real.
yes, in exhibit. I heard that. I was today. I heard it today. I was fuck. I was at work, and I was like, oh my god, everybody's ripping it. And I was like, okay, that sound like an older Be Real. You don't have that. Like his voice ain't as high pitchy as it used to be back in the '90s. Now it's after pounds and
I
pounds.
do want with
But go
all the
ahead, man.
albums that we reviewed, and there's been several that were this, that, or the other. I do want to give full props to Exhibit for this Kingmaker project.
Okay,
That Kingmaker project was well worth the wait.
okay,
Um, Beat selection solid, the
nice.
rhymes solid, the guest features on it crazy because Royce the 5'9" went off on there, but yeah, the project was thorough, man. I was highly impressed with what Exhibit did with this Kingmaker project, which made me go backwards and go back into his back catalog once again, all the way back to was it 40 Days, 40 Nights and all that
Bruh,
other stuff. Like
he
I
he
haven't,
was he was in that era. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Where the shit just it was time capsules or whatever. He stands the test of time when it comes to this hip hop shit, man. Where he's on it,
yeah,
fired
okay.
up. You know what I
If
mean? Yeah,
if X
it's
is on it, all
go
right,
ahead.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
mess
we're
with it.
good. So and that's certain people they get that pass already. It's like, bro, it's his new shit. Say less. We
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
do
man,
have to say it wasn't a case of like, I don't know what that project. Nah, that project was solid.
solid.
That project
Okay.
was hella solid. I was quite happy with how that
Give me a
project went.
rundown, because me, I'm, who on the production side, who blessed it? Who
Jelly
you can check it.
Roll, Battle Cat, and
Okay,
then
okay,
Exhibit has a habit for kind of like what Snoop does, where they'll go and grab a cat that you're not thinking about or don't never heard of, and they'll go and drop some stuff. It's like, oh, okay.
got it.
That's why, like, I always tell people, don't hate on a Snoop album, whether you feeling what Snoop talking about or not. Snoop might be the dopest A&R in the game
Yeah,
because Snoop will pull a
yeah,
producer out the
yep,
blue,
yep.
and 9 times out of 10, some of your favorite producers, their first appearance came off a Snoop
Snoop.
album,
Yep,
and yeah,
that's
Exhibit
the
is
fact.
kind of right there with it too. So yeah,
Okay,
just wanted to put that in there as a little filler note before we get into the meat of the episode. Like yeah, that's what that is. We hit you with the condiments with everything. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into what everything's about, what the title card is gonna be. All right, so we're doing the 1 year celebration. Everybody's celebrating the victory lap of Kendrick just stepping on Drake's head. That tour went crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, Not Like Us is taking every award there possibly is. I think he might have won a country music award for that one,
He
man.
might have, man. He might
I
have.
don't know.
Right.
It's nasty. I forgot what Canada's award is for music like that. He might go pick one of those up just to piss Drake off even further.
Hmm.
But shout out to this one is Deleted Villain. I was checking him out. That's one of my favorites. Homeboy always be jonesing on cats and be up there getting them bad. But he brought up a valid point. We're talking about Kendrick. We're talking about, everybody else, the weekend, everybody else that piled on Drake. But what about if I told you that for over a decade, there was a bigger diss going on, and Not Like Us was not the biggest chart topping song, and diss to win awards, dissing Drake. What would you say about that?
I keep going. Keep going. Just
Since
keep going.
Drake want to take stuff to court, I entered for the exhibit Mr. Childish Gambino, or
exhibit
as
exhibit Childish Gambino. Yeah,
or
go
as I
ahead.
like to say it, the diss by duality.
Damn.
And
Damn.
what I mean by that is, if you look at the Childish scenario, they've been going at each other for well over a decade. It's been nasty, and Push brought it up with that meltdown verse when they were talking about basically why did y'all diss Travis Scott so hard on that So Be It. He's
Mhm.
like, oh, because Travis sat up there, one, interrupted our studio session. They play his stuff, to play his stuff from Utopia, made it a whole big thing. Nobody wanted him there. And he played a particular song, Meltdown, but decided, I'm not going to play you the guest verse from it, which was the verse that Drake went and dissed Pharrell in. So one,
Mm.
you got this fool that we hate
Yeah.
on this track. You didn't tell us that. And it's the track that he's up to dissing Big Bro. Word. So Travis caught, it wasn't even a stray. That was direct shots at Travis for that one.
Mhm.
But I went back and revisited that verse and was up there. It's like, okay, yeah, you went at Kanye on it, you went at Pharrell on it, but then you went at Childish Gambino on it. It's up there. It's like, oh, word. That's what's popping. And it made me go back and look at what was the scenario with them. Because I always bring up the stuff of a lot of Drake's issues with cats is being jealous of their position.
Yeah.
It's not even so much, and people don't understand how could last year happen. It's because of bad personality practice. It's not even just business practice. Bad personality practice. If you're a fucked up person, people are after a while gonna get tired of you and go after you because like, oh man, fuck this bitch. And that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
And Kendrick just happened to be the loudest and most absolutely diabolical voice. But what if I told you Childish was actually more diabolical? Because what happens is he brought up in a GQ interview that This Is America started out as a Drake diss. And then it got bigger. But what's funny about that is the whole thing is you're rhyming from the point of a cat is overly inflated criminal. And you could tell it's like, this is kind of wild. Why is it all this? But who else is overly inflated criminal and that's not you? He was rhyming from this cat's voice doing This Is America. Don't catch you slipping.
Got you.
Don't catch you slipping.
Got you.
But what makes
Yeah.
it funnier, and this is what's going to hit you. So they've been throwing jabs back and forth over the years. Drake hates Childish not only because, one, both of y'all are others. Y'all oddballs. Y'all not the typical
Right.
street dude rapper.
Right.
They both come from the suburbs, come
Yep.
from stable home lives, or even your instability in home life, in the case of Drake, was still made stable by your grandparents and everybody else around you. In the case of Childish, yeah, you had all those foster kids around, but you had two loving parents that supported what you were doing, whatever, and you grew up in the burbs. Childish Gambino leaned into being another. I'm a nerd. I'm
Mhm.
silly. I'm quirky. I'm weird. I'm funny. That's who I am. Drake hates it for the fact of I didn't get the right shows. I was on a show and saw I wasn't gonna go past bit parts. This cat wrote for Saturday Night Live. Left Saturday Night Live, started writing for 30 Rock. Left 30 Rock, was a big star on Community and wrote for Community. Left that and decided, you know what? Besides doing stand up, I want to be a rapper. And was up there ringing off. One, he was actually good with his own pen, rang off with it. In the middle of that, it's like, you know what? I want to stop rhyming. I want to start singing. And next you know, rang off singing. You know what? Star Wars called me and wants me to be a lead man. I'm gonna be Lando Calrissian. You know what? Amazon called and decided I should be Mr. Smith in a reboot, and I'm gonna produce that joint. Everything about this cat's career has been, oh no, I'm the truth. And no matter what I pick up, I
Mhm.
could do it. I made the joke. I was like, what's this cat going to do? Go to the NBA next week and be like one of the coldest point guards of the game? Like, he don't miss. He literally produced 3 seasons. Was it 3 seasons or 4 seasons of Atlanta?
I think it was
Produced and
4.
wrote it. It was
Think it
four
was 4.
seasons of
Yeah.
Atlanta. And that joint was
Epic.
one Emmy Award winning.
Mhm.
But when I want to talk about how diabolical, so This Is America, throwing shots on his concerts at Drake throwing shots back. But what if I told you, if you go back to, and this was covered in the video, the one episode of Atlanta, remember when his girl like that was trying to get to the Drake party, and every time they was going to the Drake party, Drake wasn't there, and they was doing stuff like posing with the cutout.
Oh my
Dog, you all
god.
image, but you ain't in the party. You ain't
I
in the
wasn't
scene.
I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy. I was engulfed into the
You was
show.
enjoying the comedy of it.
Right. I didn't even think that those were shots. See, that's how separated I am from all this. If you ain't calling out somebody's name and saying this, you did this on this date, I'm not gonna get it. It's gonna go
Yeah.
just like you doing a slow walk / breakdown of this whole beef. And I'm like, oh shit, that did happen. I missed all of that because I'm not tuned into that.
The whole thing of everybody's running, trying to be around and see what Drake is. Drake ain't in the party. Drake ain't in the scene. You chasing Santa Claus. He don't exist. That's what that whole episode basically broke down
That
to
was
throw at you.
so
He
fucking
did it.
funny.
He gave you an Emmy Award winning diss.
And
But it gets crazier. So he did that joint Yoshimitsu, right? Yoshimoto. Don't quote me. Y'all can go look it up. He did that Bando Stone soundtrack, okay?
mhm,
And I'm gonna get back to that. He did a soundtrack for a movie, Bando Stone in the New World. Remember when that trailer came out?
mhm.
And he did that whole joint. Now, what makes it crazy is he had the lead single Lithonia, and then he did that other joint off there. And that was a direct diss track, which kind of like Meet the Grams. It was a polite character assassination of, dog, me and you was both others. Me and you was both famous. Me and you was both Hollywood. But I grew up, got therapy. I'm married. I'm raising my kids. What are you doing? Get out of the clubs. You trying to be trendy and look like these kids. I look like a grown man. What are you doing? This is this whole disc going during this song, right? But then what makes it crazy, everybody went and deleted villain hit this on this video. So everybody went and looked up the title of the track. What does it mean? It was the name of a fast food joint that sells what? Nothing but beef bowls. You said, so I'm serving up beef to the fast food of rap.
Yeah, I'm
But
done.
what's
Yeah, go
crazier?
ahead. Go
But
ahead.
what's crazier with how strategic and how nasty Homeboy approached all of this, right? And why I said he might be more diabolical than Kendrick. The first joint was Lithonia. Lithonia, it translates into Stone Mountain, which is where he's from. But he's like, Cody LeRae had a breakthrough, but it doesn't matter because nobody gives a fuck. He's up
See,
there like, you and your feelings don't care about love, but nobody loves you. Nobody gives a fuck. That was a shot too. But even crazier,
that's too deep. Like I said, man, you took it there again. You're gonna have cats going, going through the crates, going through their files. Like, hold on, man, did he say that? Yeah, he did say that. But hold on, man, he dissed him before Kendrick, finished him off. It was like this dude just teed him up for Kendrick to come and be
I
like,
got it
hey,
work. I got my last point that
go
Homeboy
ahead.
didn't hit, and I'm gonna mess you up with it. So he did that Bando Stone, this movie with this epic trailer. You know the whole premise of Bando Stone, right?
Go ahead, go.
The whole premise of Bando Stone is that this huge pop star, hip hop sensation with this movie Party Monkey is going around kind of like I Am Legend. Everybody's gone. And he's kind of like wondering what's going on. Meets up with the one person, her child, that still exists, and they're fighting these monsters. And she's like, okay, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Bando Stone. You don't remember me? Had that song Party Monkey? I'm everything. Nobody knows that. So basically, you did a whole movie like everything that you got, nobody's gonna remember or gives a fuck about. He did a whole fake movie in premise and created a whole soundtrack about the fact that nobody's going to know you and it's not going to matter and you ain't shit.
That's
And what you're holding on to and grabbing on to is nothing. That's why I said
that's next level. Yeah, that's next
homeboy,
level.
that's why I said I understand the boogeyman Baba Yaga is Kendrick, but Childish threw his name in the ring for that one.
Got it. Like I said, man, that's fucking crazy. Like I said, dude, I would have never known if you didn't put the dots together that these dudes are beefing, on some other shit. Like I said, if my error is you call out a motherfucker's name, and I think that's why I gravitated towards K Dot, because he was like, man, you've been throwing shots for years at folks or whatever, and you've been, throwing rocks and hiding your hands for years. I don't like that shit. I got a problem with you. We're gonna address it. We're gonna move on. That subliminal shit fucks me up. Go ahead.
One other point, and I'm gonna walk away from it. On This Is America, if you listen to remember, he didn't do any of his own ad libs on the video, okay, on the song. Okay. He did none of his ad libs. All of the ad libs on the song was all the motherfuckers from Atlanta that Drake is associated with. Young Thug, 21 Savage, Kodak Black.
Well, he's from Atlanta too, right?
He's from Atlanta. Those are all his boys. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, all the people. So on a diss track directed at you, aping you and mocking you, all the people that are doing all the ad libs on the track are all the people that you run to Future. All these people are the ad libs on that track.
Do you think they put that play together? Do you think they knew exactly what this dude was doing, or did they just fall into the soup?
I think they fell into the soup, and also SZA was in the video too.
Game.
So yeah,
yeah. I think they fell into the soup. I don't think those dudes will all come together at one time and realize that they're doing a diss track. And I'm sure, hopefully, if this gets to them, and they be like, "I know this motherfucker didn't. I know he fucking didn't just do that." And this, mind you, this is years ago. Okay, yeah. That's what they say, playing the long game. And the fact that he's not like out here like, dude, I dissed him first. He ain't on no sucker shit like, dude, give me my piece first, because I was doing all this Kendrick shit before Kendrick even thought about going after his neck. It's like, I already had him buried. Kendrick went and found, he saw the tombstone. He knew where he was buried. He dug him up and then, fucked him up and then put him back in the ground.
Knowing and realizing how much Kendrick is quite hyper aware of everything else going on. That's why I said I think Kendrick got the players like, okay, I like how you did it. I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
But this is what I'm going to do.
This is what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm a Vince Carter. I'm putting that on a poster.
Pretty much. I'm jumping over a 7-footer.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to jump over a 7-foot foreigner on this one. I got you, dog. You see what I did there. But
I like that better. I like that whole scenario better. Like, I peeped what you did there. I've been following your shit for a minute, and I put it together. I saw what you did, but I'm gonna actually verbalize it. I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. It ain't gonna be nothing.
Could you imagine the collabo if they did something like you said about how Childish was doing shit and was like, I'm gonna do a whole thing, but I need people to catch up to what I'm doing and put together, and y'all figure out who the hell I'm talking about. But I think it's too late for them to do a collab, and it's not necessarily a diss, but pretty much a celebration.
I think in this scenario, you don't even, just like the fact of this Clips album, with the fact of K Dot and Push getting back together, with the fact of Tyler popping up on there and everything else. Like Kendrick said, when I got the Super Bowl, the only person that congratulated me was Nas being on there. You don't have to say nothing loud. You just got to be present. If you saw the fact that Childish and Kendrick just got together for something real quick. If you see, because your brain running 100 miles an hour, just the visual. Like they were what? They were in the studio. No, you saw them at a hookah lounge. Well, what were they doing, motherfucker? What you think they do at a hookah lounge, man? They would, they were vibing out. Nobody know what they were talking about. It just let his mind wander. Kendrick got sensitive. Kendrick got that movie with Trey Parker and them. If all of a sudden Childish did a cameo in that movie, Childish was a Childish one of was popped up in the movie real quick. Nothing major, just a little light work. He was around. He was around.
Like I said, man, I missed that whole thing. You like, dude, you missed this one, you missed this one, you was late for class on that one, you missed that one. I was just like, dude, I was too busy caught up in the overall picture, not the individual, the storyline or what you call it, what was going on. Because with Atlanta, bro, each and every dude had their own, you know what I mean, from his girlfriend to him to his cousin to dude who played Snoop. And what you call it? Everybody held their own in that show. I love that show, man. But
and the fact of the matter is, like I said, Deleted had it when he dropped that video. When you get a chance, go back and watch that video. He had it with that video. But the fact of, like I said, Bando Stone, the fact of how it existed itself was a diss. It wasn't even just the actual diss track on there. The dude's existence is like, oh no, I'm clouding him because this dude is clearly too old to be a party boy, and nobody recognizes him or gives a fuck who he is.
And that's what they said. That's what his downfall was. It was like, bro, what are you doing? With the barrettes and all that stuff in his hair during that whole. They was like, bro, you got to make that transition. You got to either that's gonna be you, or you're gonna elevate. And he chose to go back to his bread and butter. And it was like, bro, the moment has passed. You got your solid base of songs or whatever. You can go tour for the rest of your life. You're good. But as far as next level and pushing it and pushing the push, no pun intended. But it's not there. They're all they're gonna want is your hits. That's it. They're not gonna want anything new from you if you don't elevate. And that's what Jones, back to our original, that's what Jones got an issue with, Jim Jones. Nas has, he's transcended. He's a fucking mogul now. I don't even look at Nas necessarily as a fucking rapper no more. This motherfucker been made so many moves outside of hip hop, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So, Jones, just tighten up your shit, man, and just go take a nap.
Man.
EPMD, man. Just
going back to Jones, it's funny because now he's recanting and talking about, it was just for promo. Dog, come on, man.
The damage is done, kid. The damage is done. You can't come back from that. You can't be like you said, in the first clip. Well, he was saying it with his chest so heavily. He's like, "Damn, Jim, you really feel like that?" So stop it, kid. Stop it. Go back. Apologize to Cam, and hopefully y'all could, they could get you on the show and you could transition, man. You put a suit on. You know what I'm saying? Put a suit on, get your teeth done, go on pick up a microphone, go chill with the crew, man. Damn.
Go see your family.
Yeah.
Get out these streets, go see your family.
Cam took a shot, like, bro, you always outside. Like, why you always outside? You don't have a nice home? Just go sit down somewhere, man. Chill the fuck out. Because if you're outside all day, you smell like outside. So sit your ass down somewhere with your old ass, man. Damn. That's all. That's my two. Damn.
And once again, another Dirty 30 in the books, my man.
Indeed, family.
Shout out to the whole crew. Shout out to the Schwabel Room. Shout out to all of the associates. Shout out to y'all for watching us, man. And we will be back again, man. We appreciate y'all, love y'all, and just keep watching. We're going to keep it moving.
Peace.
Peace.